Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ben Slang, and I'm the Business Development and Member Associate here at Digital. I am joined today by Artyom Mamziev from our Strategic Foresight team. And I am pleased to welcome you all to our webinar introducing the Global Advantage stream of our Horizon AI program. Okay, before we get started, we respectfully acknowledge that in Canada, we live, work, and learn on the unceded traditional and ancestral lands of Indigenous people. As myself and much of the digital team are based in Vancouver, British Columbia, we are gathered here on the traditional ancestral territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. And we encourage you to take a moment and recognize the traditional territory that you are joining us from today. As a reminder, this webinar will be recorded and will be distributed to all registrants afterwards. If at any point of this session you do have a question, please type it into the Q&A and we'll address them at the end during the Q&A portion. It's wonderful to have many of you joining us today from across the country, and we're thrilled that you could join us as we share a little bit more about digital, share an overview of the current call for proposals, some pathways to success, and the Q&A portion at the end as well. As I mentioned, we do encourage you to post your questions in that Q&A section. As we go through the agenda, the intention of this webinar and our time together is really for all of you to have a better understanding of our innovative model, especially for those of you who are new to us. We'll go into a little bit of detail around the program, including things like eligibility, the evaluation criteria, and other factors to get a bit of a better understanding of Digital's co-investment model and really to determine if this program is the right fit for your concept. So when we look at Digital, what we do is we accelerate the development and adoption of digital technologies that help advance towards a net zero society, build a healthier Canada, drive economic productivity, and produce a digitally skilled workforce. So we are one of 5 global innovation clusters across Canada. So we are pan-Canadian, but like I said, we do have that BC-based physical location here in downtown Vancouver. We have diverse representation, not only across sectors, but across nearly all provinces and territories. So with phase 2 of the GIC program having started back on April 1st, we continue to advance the Made in Canada for the World collaborative approach to both the commercialization and the productization of innovative R&D. And as we take a look at our snapshot of collective impact, you'll see that the co-investment to date has supported some really incredible development across our investment portfolio of technology leadership, COVID response, and capacity building projects. Today, you'll be learning a little bit more about the current call for proposals and where that co-investment will continue to support these efforts. Our projects are exploring international partnerships to expand their global opportunities and are being adopted at a global level. For example, late last year, the World Health Organization adopted a Vancouver-developed platform looking at making antimicrobial resistance guidance accessible globally. So of the nearly 500 IP assets generated to date, over 50% of those are patent applications. In the knock-on effect of the 800+ million in new funds that have been raised, over 500 million of that has been raised by Canadian SMEs. So it's the creation of these innovative solutions that are also really contributing to the retention and creation of Canadian jobs. And we're complementing these initiatives with investments further in digital skilling. So for those of you who may be new to us, you might be wondering a little bit about how does this all kind of collectively come together through this collaborative innovation model. So there is no one-size-fits-all approach. The consortium side composition is really unique to each situation, and that's just like the problems that they're aiming to solve. So this framework looks to connect partners across industry, academia, and government, and includes advisors and other ecosystem stakeholders that are invested in coming together to solve these problems. So the multi-party agreement that I'll talk about a little bit later, that's kind of the selected piece which keeps these projects, the vehicle together, keeps the voices at the table, and each organization at that table is going to be participating and contributing in a really meaningful way. And next, I'm just going to discuss the concept of co-investment within the context of a digital project. So co-investment operates on a cost recovery model with eligible expenses as the foundation. So in this model, project partners do shoulder the cost, and then they claim those funds from Digital. What's important to note is that Digital's payments are tied to the actual project costs incurred, and these payments are dispersed once the project team confirms that they have fulfilled their commitments. So it's also worth mentioning that a nominal deduction of 5% of eligible claimed cost is made for membership fees. And in a Digital project, the project lead organization takes on that responsibility of consolidating all of those claims. These claims are then submitted to Digital, which channels all the funds back through that lead organization. And eligibility for co-investment can be extended to a number of organizations, from for-profit industries to non-for-profit members with private sector funding, non-federal crown corporations engaged in commercial activities, community organizations, directly benefiting their communities, and even select nonprofits, post-secondary institutions, and research bodies, provided their project budgets meet the minimum industry funding requirements. So in essence, this is a collaborative approach where organizations invest in project costs upfront and claim Digital funds later. So this really does ensure that all participants are invested in the project's success while maintaining financial stability. And one last thing that I want to mention before I hand it back over to Artyom is that there's more than one way to get in touch with Digital and connect with us. So we understand that our model is not for everyone, and if it is not the right opportunity or timing for your organization, we still encourage you to connect with us as a Digital associate. This is a free level of membership that allows you to stay up to date on our upcoming updates and events and connect with other members of our network. So again, Digital members are the organizations that make up the project consortiums that co-invest alongside Digital in our collaborative innovation projects, and members are the only ones subject to that, to those membership fees. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Artyom to introduce Global Advantage and Horizon AI.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. And good morning, good day, everyone, and welcome. It's great to have you join us today from across the country. And I will provide more details about Digital Horizon AI program, and specifically a Global Advantage stream, the stream that we announced a couple of weeks ago. We will also go through funding and eligibility requirements for the stream, and also application process and next steps. So as Ben mentioned, we encourage you to post your questions in the chat so we can address them at the end of our webinar. Next slide, please. Okay, Horizon AI. So Horizon AI is a dedicated, specialized digital national program that is focusing on capturing economic potential from applied AI. So we are building the ecosystem, applied AI ecosystem focused on commercial success. And we are basically helping Canadian organizations create a global competitive advantage that enables market leadership and accelerated revenue growth. So we started this program with co-investment from the Government of Canada through Global Innovation Cluster Program and the Pan-Canadian Artificial Intelligence Strategy. So there are 3 streams originally in this Horizon AI program. So the first one is technology commercialization stream. So it's total 20 million in funding, and the purpose is accelerate the development and adoption of AI products. So actually the stream is live. Currently was launched a couple of months ago, and you are welcome to check on our website and see if it's a fit. You're welcome to apply. So another stream in Horizon AI program is AI talent stream. So it's 5 million in funding total. This stream is about building an applied AI talent pool. So we are going to launch this stream very soon. And lastly, a Global Advantage stream. So this is a stream of today's call. So total 5 million in funding. So we just launched the stream on August 16. So next slide, please. So what is Global Advantage stream? So basically the aim of the stream is to build Canadians' presence in emerging market opportunities. And we specifically are focused on 2 types of projects here. So use case project is one of them, and specifically in digital service agent space. And another type of the project is consortium development projects in other AI emerging market opportunities. So what is the difference with, for example, technology leadership stream and Horizon AI? So this stream, Global Advantage stream, is particularly focused on emerging market opportunities and these two types of the projects. However, even though another actually difference is the size of the projects, right? So this stream, we are going to co-invest up to 250,000 per project. For example, compare with tech leadership's Horizon Eyes projects, where we said that we will, the minimum project size is 3 million. So this stream is a little bit smaller. However, for both project types that are mentioned here, we expect to transform them later into multi-year initiatives and potentially mobilize a significant scale of additional capital investment from multiple sources and strategic partners. Next slide, please. So let me cover a little bit about these two types of the projects. So the first one is use case project with digital service agents. What is digital service agent? So we understand that this is a span or spectrum of different solutions, different tools ranging from relatively simple chatbots, for example, through conversational AI to fully interactive digital humans. And there are different names for this kind of technologies. You know, there are like virtual beings, digital assistants, like different names. And because it's emerging market, the terminology for describing this product category is still in flux. Right, but in terms of the technologies, it's a combination of AI, machine learning, virtual and augmented reality, and animation. And our goal is basically to kickstart this emerging industry and demonstrate and validate the market potential of digital service agents with this kind of projects. So we have mentioned several examples here. Career coaching and learning and development is one, health and well-being, including AI companions. And last one is customer and technical support services, but it's not an exclusive list. This technology is transformative and are going to transform many industries. So just the limits is the imagination. So this is digital service agent piece, and actually for this one we are also going to publish a digital service agent mission brief, and we will give more details about the space and about the growth rate and what kind of potential products could be built there. So for the second type of the project, consortium development projects. So the purpose of consortium development projects is to help assemble strategic leadership around significant market opportunities. And we assume that Canada has the potential to be global market leader in this specific opportunity. So in this consortium projects, it's necessary to define the opportunity, outline an ecosystem strategy with defined project pipeline and the capacity to pursue investment at scale. So again, some examples of different areas of interest, again, not an exclusive list. One is embodied AI in general purpose robotics applications. Another one is AI models that integrate into service delivery infrastructure, such as, for example, self-driving vehicles, intelligence, energy management grids, and smart city platforms. And the last one is generative AI that augments transmedia storytelling, immersive experiences, 3D modeling, and automation. So lastly, it's worth mentioning that the strongest projects will be eligible for digital follow-up investments to continue advancing the product opportunity or consortium work and to stimulate the attraction of additional investments. Next slide, please. So lastly, just wanted to mention also partnerships opportunities here. So one of the Horizon AI goals is to expand applied AI investments, including attracting strategic industry and government partners. So particularly in the space of digital service agents, we are looking for strategic partners who are willing to commit knowledge, tools, funds, time, or other resources to build this emerging market opportunity together with us. So specifically, sorry, we are looking for industry and government partners who want to use digital service agent, so potential customers of this technology. So we expect these organizations to bring their business challenges that can be addressed with digital agents, and we might be able to connect you with the right team to solve this particular industry or public challenge, or build potentially a new revenue stream here. So this is one kind of partners we are looking for. Another partners is infrastructure providers. We basically want to offer infrastructure providers the possibility to demonstrate the advantages of their infrastructure and tools for Horizon AI network. Another one is capital holders and investors that are working in the space. So we invite you to bring your ideas or maybe portfolio companies to participate in our calls for projects. And also we are going to organize a showcase of our use cases at the end of the project. So potentially if there is an interest, please contact us. And lastly, any other partners who are aligned with this emerging area, you're welcome to come forward and contact us, specifically academic partners, right? So we would love to learn what you are doing. And if there is a fit, we are happy to connect you with the right project teams. So in each case, we will work individually with each organization to decide on possible collaboration options, opportunities, and the level of support we can provide. So here's our email, advantage@digitalsupercluster.ca. Please feel free to send us a message and we will reply. Next slide, please. So let me cover funding and eligibility requirements, and then we move to application process. Next slide. So in terms of funding, so as I mentioned, we will co-invest up to 250,000 per project, and teams need to co-invest at least the same amount, and we call it industry co-investment. But we don't have any maximum limit or maximum number for the project size, right? So potentially it could be like any number, right? So it's just our limitation is 250 per each project. So also for most promising projects, as I mentioned, we are going to do a follow-up investment up to 1 million per project. And to be considered for follow-up investment, we would like to see a business plan, and we would like to see strategic partners for the expansion project of at least 3 million. Also, all funding for both use case projects and consortium development project will be provided to the project lead. So we will have an agreement with project lead, between digital and project lead. And potentially for follow-up investment, we can have a multi-party consortium agreement. In this case, we have, like many organizations will be in this agreement. And lastly, all projects should be completed before December 31st, 2025, right? So it's 2 years and several months left for this. Next slide. Okay, so eligibility criteria. So feel free to check full list of eligibility requirements. That's in our Horizon AI Global Advantage Stream program guide. The link is here on the slide. But shortly, I will cover it here. So any organization can submit an idea of expression of interest for consideration. So you don't need to be member, you don't need to be associate. You just go to our website, submit, push the button, submit AOI, and submit your idea. And it's quite a simple form to prepare. So if we decide that it's an attractive opportunity and decide to move it to proposal stage, and then the lead organization should become digital associate. For digital associate, actually, there is no any obligations, any requirements in terms of the membership fee. It's just, follow our code of conduct and some confidentiality agreement clauses there. So lead organization should have substantial Canadian business presence. So it means that it could be like a Canadian company, or it could be a multinational corporation as well. But this corporation should legally registered to do business in Canada and has substantial Canadian business operations, right? So this is requirements. So foreign organizations without registered business presence in Canada can be project participants, right? So there is no limitation there, but not the project lead, only project participant. In terms of collaboration, so Ben mentioned our collaborative model. So just wanted to cover it a little bit in more details here. So for each project, we would like to have at least 3 organizations. So one is AI technology product company that owns and will continue to invest in the AI-enabled technology solution. So this is one. Another one is at least one target customer. So it's basically industry partner who is a potential customer of this solution and potentially early adopter of the solution. And its role is to validate product market fit and business case of adopting the AI solution. So this is second. And lastly, academic or research partner. So academic partner can contribute to the project through cutting-edge research, for example, independent evaluation or developing and publishing case study or white paper that prove the benefits of using this particular AI technology. Right, so 3 organizations at least in the project team. Yes, so this is eligibility requirements. Next slide, please. So lastly, evaluation criteria. So each EOI and proposal will be rigorously reviewed per the evaluation criteria that are defined in Appendix A in program guide. So again, please feel free to check our program guide. There are like 4 different categories of assessment, right? So they are here, and each one has a certain percentage. So first is a market opportunity. So here we are looking for alignment with our call for projects, trying to see the market need for this, how you define the demand for this. Second is solution and solution excellence. So we are looking for what exactly the project is building here, what is a competitive advantage or competitive differentiation of this solution, and so on. So this is about solution excellence. The next one is team and execution. So we are looking into team composition, or work plan, project budget, and how the team is able to deliver this particular project. And lastly, high impact innovative projects. So here it's about describing today's state of the art in the area of project interest. How will the project push the boundaries of this particular state of the art? And what is potentially scaling potential of this and impact not only for the project participants, but for the larger AI ecosystem that we are trying to build. Okay, so I pass over to Ben at this point to talk about the application process. Ben, you're on mute.
Awesome. Thanks, Artyom. Thank you very much. So if this sounds like an opportunity that you are interested in pursuing, the first step will be to register an EOI. So that will be via an intake form that you can access on the Global Advantage section of the digital website. The intake form isn't too intensive. It will ask you to provide a brief project summary and describe the potential project, market opportunity, the team structure, and scaling potential, among a few other things. After submitting that EOI, the Global Advantage team will determine the eligibility, fit, and quality of the opportunity. And then they should be in touch with you within 2 to 3 weeks. So at that stage, the applicants of successful EOIs will be invited to submit a full proposal. And we will be sure to provide you with a full FPP template to you at that time. So at that point, we'll ask all of the applicants to sign on as a digital associate by signing our participation agreement. As Artyom mentioned, there are no fees at that point, and the participation agreement represents a basic code of conduct and NDA. And then the final project proposal will be evaluated by an independent project selection committee made up of respected independent innovation leaders in Canada. So they will make a recommendation to our CEO for ratification, and if successful, you will receive a notice of award that will kick off your contracting stage. And that involves the multi-party agreement that will bring all the consortium partners together to sign that master project agreement in a timely manner. And that is the point in when you will sign on as a digital member. Okay, so one of our most frequently asked questions is when the deadlines for EOI submissions are. and there are no deadlines. So this is a continuous intake until all of the funds are committed. So from our side, we're looking to commit $5 million from this stream. We launched the Global Advantage stream on August 16th and have already had some EOIs come in. So we are expecting the development of the earliest FPPs later in September. With the contracting process for those early successful applicants taking place later in November. Okay, so as this is a continuous intake, we do encourage you to get those EOIs into the pipeline early and begin this process so we can get started on all of these great and innovative ideas. And with that, I'll just refer to a few next steps. If you are interested, I really encourage you to check out our program guide and our co-investment guidelines. And then once you come up with that project concept, you'll be able to submit that project concept via that EOI online intake form. Each applicant team will receive a response from Digital within 3 weeks of that EOI submission, and then a Digital Innovation Advisor will be assigned to eligible proposal teams at the FPP stage and will provide you guidance through the proposal process and beyond. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to Digital at advantage@digitalsupercluster.ca. Okay, and with that, we will hop into the Q&A portion. I see we have some questions coming in right now, and I will just open those up. Okay, so the first one that I see from Anonymous, is there a cost to membership? So I believe that one was addressed throughout the presentation. The membership costs are only for the Digital members that receive those invitations and are awarded a successful project proposal. So at that point, once the contracting begins, there will be the $5,000 membership fee, as well as the 5% fee for costs incurred. To become a Digital associate and get involved with us and sign on for our updates, as well as connect with others in our community via our community portal online, that is totally free. There are no membership fees for the associate status. And like I said, there are no fees that take place until that FPP is determined successful and contracting begins. Okay, go ahead, Artyom.
So probably I will reply as the next one. Did you say maximum co-investment of 250,000? Yes, so we said that for each type of the project in the stream, we are going to co-invest up to 250,000 from our side. And we said that there is no limit in terms of the maximum project size and co-investment that the project team is going to contribute to this project. Okay, so the next one. Ben, probably the next one is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Richard asks, when and how will we be able to access the Digital Agent mission brief as well as the recording? This recording will be distributed to everybody who registered following the conclusion of the webinar today. As for the Digital Agent mission brief, all of the materials can be accessed either via our website on the Global Advantage page, as well as in our community portal, which you can access if you sign on as a Digital associate. So we can make sure those are all distributed to you as well.
Yeah, and for Digital mission brief, so it's still in process of finalizing. So we are going to probably upload this document on our website in the next couple of weeks. So this is our timeline for the Digital mission brief. Okay, so the next one. How can an associate partner join the existing projects and propose the already existing project? What is the channel for this? So basically for existing projects, generally like the teams come to us already like formed. If there is a need for like some additional partners in the team, so we will try to provide support and connect different organizations together and complement the current team that is coming. So when the master project agreement signed and the project started, so we have cases when for some reason some of the partners leave the project. In this case, we again help project teams to kind of find a new partner or extend and change the scope of the project. So we provide assistance on case-by-case basis for bringing like additional partners into the projects if needed, right? If needed, but if not, then the project just go. They have a defined scope of work and they're just moving forward with this. Okay, so the next one. What is the difference between submitting an AOI and becoming a digital strategic partner? Yeah, so let me explain this one. So in terms of AOI, so AOI indicate your interest to start a project with digital. So basically you have some ideas, some concept, you form some team already. As I mentioned, at least 3 organizations should be in the team. And you just submit your expression of interest and just want to consider this opportunity. And in terms of partnerships, it's more of just letting us know your area of interest. Just send us a message, and it's like depending on your area of interest, we will try to connect you either with the right project team or potentially participate, for example, in showcases of the use cases for investors, right? So it's more like a partnership opportunity that we can work individually with you and understand how we can work together on this particular area of interest. So are digital contribution shred eligible or only participants or lead organization co-founding? So in terms of shred eligibility, so this question probably need to be checked with our finance team. So we are not sure. So we will check and come back to you with shred eligibility question. But generally saying, like, I think many organizations ask, can we bring co-investment from other public sources? So the answer is yes, you can bring co-investment from other public sources. The only requirements that we have for the stream is that we need to have at least the same amount as digital co-invest from industry. Right. So if, for example, we invested 250 in this project, we would like to see 250 from the industry. And then you are welcome to bring other sources, including public sources, right? But at least the same amount should be from the industry. So this is the only requirements from our side.
I see one at the top from Sylvia who asks, hi, I am wondering, by investing, does digital require exchange of share ownership in our company? The answer to that is no. Digital does not take any equity in any of the projects that it co-invests in.
Yeah, and another question from Rebecca: can an organization submit multiple AOIs for consideration? The answer is yes. Organization can submit multiple AOIs, and feel free to check our open call for projects. We have at least 3 currently on our website. So each project stream has different requirements. So the only one thing that we are looking for is the capacity of this organization to run several projects in parallel. But again, like from our experience, we have several, probably like many organizations that are participating in several streams. So yeah, so you are welcome to participate in several if you can. Are proposals public or anonymous? So basically for the proposals, so so in terms of reviewing proposals, so we have a digital team that is going to review it, and we also have an external panel reviewers who are going to help us to review the final project proposals. So we sign non-disclosure agreements with all external reviewers to make sure that it will not be distributed to outside of digital. Yeah, so in terms of publicity, it should stay inside digital. Maybe like there are like just some high-level overview might be published, but we will communicate this when we come to the stage of final project proposals. And as I mentioned, we're also going to sign a participation agreement. So when the team submit final project proposal, they need to sign a participation agreement. And one of the clauses in this participation agreement is non-disclosure agreement, right? So we are going to make sure that it's not going beyond digital. So the same question from Mariel, are we able to submit the same project to more than one digital program at the same time? So yeah, potentially you can submit the same project. The only question is probably it's better to check the requirements of each stream. They're quite different in terms of like what we are looking for, the size of the project, the partners we are looking for. So probably if you're submitting the same project, it's better to find the best fit and just submit to the one place. But if you are submitting different projects, so in this case, probably it could be submitted like to different streams because each project is unique, right? But if it's the same project, so it's better probably to find the best fit for this project. So another question, how long the FPP review process lasts? So in terms of FPP process, we are going to run FPP, as I mentioned, like FPP external panel will be reviewing full project proposals every month. So as soon as the project submitted, so approximately give us 1 month to finalize and review it with external project selection committee, and then we will come back to you with the final decision. So we're expecting, as Ben mentioned at the beginning, we're expecting to sign the first contracts for the stream at the beginning of December, probably. Yeah, so it's pretty fast compared with others. Yeah, we try to simplify it.
I see one question from Vova who asks, does digital acquire rights to IP developed as part of the projects? And the answer to that is in the same vein as the equity as well. Digital does not require rights to IP. The interests of digital are to help Canadian organizations and innovative consortiums develop IP that remains in Canada.
Okay, so another question, can you please explain what kind of expenses can be considered in kind? So we encourage you to check our co-investment guideline. So it's another document for the stream. So 2 key documents that you need to check, co-investment guideline and program guideline. So this question about in-kind expenses, you can find examples of in-kind expenses there. Just let me mention, for example, one. For example, providing a discount on members' products, such as software licenses, can be considered as in-kind expenses. Ben, probably next one for you from Richard. Can you please clarify what the 5,000 membership fee is for?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the 5,000 membership fee is used to continue to help digital operate. We have a really great team here that can help with a lot of the introductions if you're looking to come to a table or network with some existing consortiums, as well as some great expertise in-house on things like IP and legal. So being able to kind of connect with those folks on our side is a real asset for the organizations that are a part of our approved consortiums. And those are all things that the fee contributes towards.
Okay, so the next question. Can you elaborate more on how academic partners can participate in Horizon AI projects? Perhaps through research? If so, who will fund such research? From Chris. Okay, so for academic partners. So academic partners is one of the mandatory participants of our projects. So we said that academic partners can contribute through Yes, cutting-edge research is one of their areas. For example, graduate students or researchers can work on some research that is needed for this particular project. Another way is to do some independent evaluation or developing and publishing case studies or white papers. So this is actually one of the outputs of the projects that we're expecting. And in these case studies, it's necessary to kind of prove the benefits of using this particular AI solution. Right, so this is a way how academic partners can contribute. So is it, another question, is there a fee to be a digital strategic partner? No, there is no fee. So if you are doing some, like if you want to advance this area, just come to us and we will have a discussion, right? So you don't need to be a member or sign any like membership agreement for this. Will you be helping connect interested parties at all? Yes, for sure. So this is one of our roles. So we are helping when we see need. So when the teams comes to us and we see a gap, for example, in one of the capabilities that is needed for this project, we try to fill this gap and try to connect parties. But we're doing it on case-by-case basis, right? Because there are many teams, right? And we are trying to find where we can add the most value. And I would mention that like the majority of the teams come to us with already a formed group of companies, organizations. But like there are some cases when they need help, right? So we provide help when they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add onto that, Artyom, you can feel free to reach out to us at the advantage@digital supercluster.ca address, and we'll be able to help get you in contact with any folks that you might be interested in meeting.
So another question from Richard. Did I understand correctly that in order to submit an AOI, we have to have a team of 3 separate organizations? Yes, Richard, that's correct. You need to have a team of 3 organizations, AOI, technical provider, customer, and academic partner. Right? So this is our requirements for collaborative innovation.
And I see one more from Richard here who clarifies his earlier question about the 5K fee. So Richard, this fee is not for associates. You can get in touch with us, you can interact with us, and you don't have to pay that fee until you are contracted into with the multi-party agreement and begin receiving co-investment from Digital to put towards an approved project. So that fee is kind of the last step in terms of being onboarded as a consortium member. So any of the benefits that we provide to associates, any of the early introductions, that is all available to you without paying that fee.
Okay, so the next question from Bora. What is the timeline for the digital follow-up investments if the project successfully passes the first phase? Do we have the complete the project before getting considered for a larger follow-up phase, or can they happen simultaneously? Yes, so the idea is that all projects start with a small scale project. So both use case project and consortium development projects start with co-investment from our side up to 250,000. And only after the project successfully complete their deliverables, then we consider them for follow-up investment. But I should mention here that for all projects, we are going to ask you to think beyond the small scale project, right? And think about the next phase, actually. What are you going to build after you successfully complete the project, right? What is the kind of consortium that you have in mind? What kind of activities? What kind of solutions you're going to build? And how you're going to engage more partners, right? Because the follow-up project is a big one, right? So it's better to think in advance. And we said in a program guide that we are going to co-invest up to 1 million in 3 projects, right? So this is our kind of goal for the next follow-up investment, but only after all project will be successfully completed, small-scale projects. This is a timeline. And in terms of like overall timeline, so all projects, including follow-up investment projects, should be completed until December 2025, right? This is our requirements for this team. Okay, so let's see other questions here. The criteria says one of the partners can be a customer. Do the expenses incurred by the customer considered project expenses? Yes. So if this customer or this partner incur some expenses that contribute to the benefits of these projects, that contribute to the deliverables of this project, then they're considered the project expenses, and yeah, they are potentially eligible for co-investment from our side. Okay, so another question to clarify. An AOI can be submitted by a tech company and have digital connect us to other partners. So as I mentioned, so it's better when you submit AOI, it's better to form the consortium already, to form a team of several companies when you come to us. So in some cases, when we see there is some capabilities missing, we connect you with the right partners. But if it's just one company that is going to submit this AOI, then it's better for you actually to at least to bring some customer, right? So to come with two companies to the consortium, right? So we are trying to help, we are trying to connect, but because like there are probably many organizations that submit, it's hard for us to help everyone, right? So we are trying to focus on the most promising opportunities and try to connect and fill the gaps in in the teams that are already kind of formed, right? Not one company, right? So we are not really focusing on one company, right? We are focusing on the opportunities and on the teams, so the consortium of several organizations. This is and we encourage each team to come to us with already like formed consortium of organizations. Okay. Richard.
Sorry, Artem, go ahead.
Sorry. So another question from Richard regarding the three organizations, technical, customer, academia. Do they all need to be in Canada? No. So we said that lead organization should have a significant Canadian presence. But for example, customer can be a foreign company, right? They can participate, they can contribute, but they don't really need to be a Canadian organization, right? So this is we don't have the requirement. So the only requirement is for the lead organization to be eligible for our co-investments. They need to be a Canadian organization. Okay, so the next question. The same question, can the customer be an international company as long as the technical and academic partners are Canadian companies? Yes, exactly. So it's what I just mentioned. So it's
One question here asks, am I understanding correctly in assuming any funding is on a standard grant basis? So in other words, no equity investment. So that is correct. There is no equity taken by digital or other repayment conversion or terms. And the answer to that is that we are a little bit of a unique model. There are no methods of repayment or conversion, but it is a co-investment model, like we mentioned earlier in the presentation. So we are investing alongside with the for-profit partners in the consortiums. And I would encourage you to refer to the co-investment guidelines for this call as well to see some of the details on how that all kind of works and how the money flows through, but no repayment. That is correct.
Okay, so next question from Anik. Would augmentive AI solution be applicable? It seems the focus is automation using AI. Just curious, as the natural progression toward automation usually starts with augmentation. Yeah, so augmentative AI solutions can be applicable. So we mentioned that specifically for consortium development projects, probably, but also for use case projects too, depending on their specific opportunity there, right? So we, in this global advantage stream, we are focusing on emerging market opportunities that are related to AI, and we don't have any limitations in terms of applicable AI solutions, right? Everything that fit into this definition of augmented, of emerging market opportunities and specific project types that we mentioned will fit into this. Again, question from Richard. Can you please confirm the academic partner can be international as well? Yes, academic partner can be international. We don't have, again, any limitations for academic partners in this sense. But probably just to mention, so if you have international partners in the team and they don't have Canadian presence, so all expenses that they incur, we are not going to reimburse them, right? So we will reimburse only expenses of a lead organization that should be Canadian organization, right? So for all foreign organizations, including academic partners, including foreign customers, the expenses are not really reimbursed by our organization, right? And but they're welcome to participate, right? So we don't have limitations for them to not to participate, right? So it's okay. Okay, so what else? Are there any advantages of partnering up with an academic partner who is also a digital member? I mean, we don't have, I mean, you're welcome to partner with any academic partner. This partner not necessarily should be a digital member, but if we partner with a digital member, it's good, right? We like to see the connections, our organizations that are members of our network are working together. So, but it's not a limitation, right? It could be any partner, not necessarily a digital member. So what is the question from Stefan? What is the minimum total project amount for projects that qualify for follow-on funding? You mentioned 3 million, but is that total project value or industry contribution? So for follow-up funding, we said that total project size should be at least 3 million. And from this amount, we are going to contribute 1 million from supercluster side. Right, so this is how it works. But yeah, so we will come to this when we complete our.
Looks like Artyom is having some technical difficulties over there. So with that in mind, I'll take another scan at the questions here. Mariel asks, are we able to submit the same product? Apologies there. I think we just had a slight technical difficulty, but we are back and we can hop back into some questions. Artyom, is everything all clear on your end?
Yes. Just trying to understand which questions we still need to answer. So do you have any questions that I still need to answer?
Yes, you can find them in the question and answer tab under open.
Okay. So a question about the customer. Can you please clarify what is required in order for an organization to be considered a customer? Do they have to have signed a contract already, a letter of intention, verbal expression of interest? Yeah, so for customers, so we ask the teams to come with a customer. So it's not necessary to have a contract with you, or like any like formal agreement, but we need to make sure that this is organization that is going to be participating in the project, right? So they will spend, for example, their time to, for example, test the solution that's going to be developed, or somehow contribute to the project success, right? So this is our requirement, and it should be some kind of like maybe verbal commitment or you just need to demonstrate us that this customer is on board, right? And they are ready to work with you on this particular project, right? And they should be included somehow probably in the work plan and also in a budget of this project, right? So this is a requirements to consider this particular organization as a customer. So Ben, do you want to answer the last one? Is supercluster fund backed by government or private investors?
Absolutely. So the supercluster is not funded by private investors. The Global Innovation Clusters Initiative is backed by Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada, which is an arm of the federal government.
There are some questions that I don't really, it's hard to reply. What are the staking rules and limitations? This question from Anna. So Anna, if you have like specific question about staking rules and limitations, just send us a message. And actually for everyone that feels that they have more detailed questions that they want to us to answer, just feel free to send us email to advantage@digitalsupercluster.ca. And we will try to address your question. And regarding staking rules and limitations, so I think I mentioned that probably the only rule is for us is to see the industry co-investment at least at the same amount as our co-investment, right? But there are other sources of funding for a particular project could come from any other source, including public funding. So there's not really any other limitations. Okay, I think, Ben, I think we are good to go unless you see any question that you want to address, because majority of the questions here we probably somehow addressed already and they just repetition, right? And again, feel free to send us a message and we will try to reply to them. And thank you actually for being with us today. Looking forward to the expression of interest for people who are interested.
Absolutely, Artyom, thank you very much. And we can address some of the final questions that we haven't had time to get to here in our follow-up email. So we'll be sure to do that. Lisa asks if we will be hosting another session. We will be distributing this recording and you'll be able to find the link in that email as well. So thank you all very much to everybody for taking the time to get to know the Global Advantage stream a little bit better today. And as well, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation. Have a very great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.